Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. Intern doctor nabbed for allegedly raping patients. Underutilization of CDF warrant to seize FUNDING-TIZ. Reconstruction of KAMWALA-CHONGWE Road OVERDUE-SIMATTA laments. In international news, could higher prices for consumers in the U.S. trigger opposition to Trump's tariffs? And in sports news, APSA Cup 2025 receives increased sponsorship to boost Zambian football. To join me just shortly after this break. With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. An intern doctor at Soko Medical Center has been arrested for allegedly raping a patient, the Ministry of Defense has confirmed. Permanent Secretary Mambo Hamaundu disclosed that the incident allegedly occurred yesterday and that the suspect is currently in police custody. He further stated that management at Soko Medical Center is fully cooperating with law enforcement agencies to ensure a thorough investigation and that justice is served. The Ministry of Defense has strongly condemned the act and assured the public that no one will be shielded as investigations proceed. Kamwala Ward Councillor OVERDUE-SIMATTA has called for a total reconstruction of Chongwe Road, also known as Prison Road, stating that the road has outlived its lifespan and is beyond patchwork repairs. In an interview, Mr. Simata noted that despite various efforts over the past 3 years to address the deteriorating state of the road, no solution has proven effective. He explains that the council and well-wishers have attempted cement patching, laterite filling, and asphalt repairs along the entire stretch, but the road continues to deteriorate. He further stated that he is currently waiting on the local authority to facilitate funding for the full reconstruction of the road.
I would like to state categorically that as councillor, I've endeavored to ensure that the road is completely redone. What we've been doing over the past 3 years is to try and patch up the road, and that's a stretch from Rand Prison, all the way up to Kafua Road, Mega Save. We've endeavored to patch it up. We've tried to use asphalt material. We've tried to use laterite and also cement in some cases, and it gets bad especially during the rain season. So documents are there where, as councillor, I requested the Lusaka City Council to allocate funds for the road to be completely redone, because obviously patching up is not working. But as of 2023 November, that response has never been executed as I would have loved to, and as of course users of the road and residents would have loved to. So the onus is on the Lusaka City Council to allocate funds for the complete redoing of that road. Of course, there are others that have asked whether CDF can work for the road. It can indeed, but that would mean forfeiting or foregoing all other CDF budget allocations, such as the skills, grants, loans, because that road would be so expensive to the extent that it would work the entire annual budget CDF for Kamwala Ward. So considering the fact that residents or the communities have to agree how money for CDF is spent. I don't foresee a situation where residents will be agreeable that the entire CDF allocation for Kamwala Ward should be used on one road, while other things such as classroom blocks, water reticulation and boreholes, street lighting and other things are forfeited for a year. That's the challenge that we have with utilizing the CDF. Otherwise, the road can be done, but we need the engagement of the council and also National Road Fund to come on board.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock has signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the Livestock Services Cooperative Society Limited to enhance livestock production and productivity with a goal of reaching 7.4 million cattle by 2027. Minister of Fisheries and Livestock Peter Kapala stated that the partnership focuses on operationalizing the liquid nitrogen plant at the Mazabuka Livestock Research Station in Province. Mr. Kapala added that the plant will play a critical role in supporting the National Artificial Insemination AI program, which aims to improve the quality and genetic makeup of livestock in Zambia. He further highlighted that the key objectives of the MOU include operationalizing the liquid nitrogen plant, promoting sustainable production practices, and capacity building within the livestock sector.
The Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock has signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) with the Livestock Service Cooperative Society Limited to enhance livestock production and productivity, targeting an increase in Zambia's cattle population to 7.4 million by 2027. Speaking at a press briefing, Minister of Fisheries and Livestock Peter Kapala emphasized that the agreement focuses on operationalizing the liquid nitrogen plant at the Mazabuka Livestock Research Station in Southern Province. The plant is expected to play a crucial role in supporting the National Artificial Insemination AI program, which aims to improve cattle genetics and overall productivity.
This collaboration focuses on operationalization a liquid nitrogen plant located at Mazabuka Livestock Research Station in Southern Province. Specifically, the objectives of the MOU include three of the following. 1. Operationalization of the liquid nitrogen plant. Through combined efforts, we will facilitate business opportunities, provide financial support, and deploy investment de-risking instruments to ensure the plant.
He added that his ministry will also conduct annual facility and production audits, while the Livestock Service Cooperative Society will manage the day-to-day operations of the plant. The key objectives of the MOU include operationalizing the liquid nitrogen plant, promoting sustainable livestock production practices, and enhancing capacity building within the sector.
Increase accessibility and convenience for the safe transfer of semen samples to different places, allowing artificial insemination programs and easing genetic exchange between farms and breeding centers. 5. This initiative will empower our farmers, enabling them to breed superior livestock, improve the quality of products such as milk and beef, and ultimately increase their income levels. 6. The center will also contribute to job creation and poverty reduction by supporting beef and dairy value chains across the country, supporting endeavors such as milk collection centers and beef economic zones, among other livestock growth clusters.
This collaboration is expected to enhance livestock productivity, strengthen research activity, and build institutional capacity, ultimately contributing to the growth of Zambia's livestock. Miriam Kansenga for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Transparency International Zambia (TIZ) has reiterated the need to halt any further increases in the Constituents Development Fund (CDF) until local authorities demonstrate their capacity to manage the funds effectively. TIZ Executive Director Maurice Nyambe, at a media briefing in Lusaka, cited findings from the 2023 Auditor General's report, which reviewed underperformance in CDF utilization. According According to the report, only 42% of allocated funds for community projects were utilized, while 53% of the total allocation remained unspent. Mr. Nyambe stressed the need for the government to address bureaucratic approval processes for large community projects, noting that procedural bootlickers have delayed the timely implementation of development initiatives. Meanwhile, TIZ Advocacy Policy Manager Bright Chizonde highlighted regional disparities in fund utilization.
Against CDF, I think that has to be made very clear from the onset. Okay, CDF is a brilliant development program with the potential to actually make a real difference in the lives of local communities and in the lives of so many people. And I think what we have seen from the successive government, maybe more so this one which is there now, is that CDF has been identified as one of the tools that can be used to actually advance the decentralization agenda. Capacity of local authorities, significant financial irregularities and governance weaknesses, as well as underperformance of constituencies in utilizing CDF funds. It is deeply concerning that despite increased CDF allocations over the past few years, many constituencies have struggled to effectively utilize these resources. According to our assessment, less than 42% of the funds allocated for community projects were utilized, while around 53% of the total CDF allocation remained unspent.
10 provinces had utilization rates of less than 60% of the funds made available. Now let's look at the constituencies with respect to total funds allocated in terms of utilization. Obviously, we know the constituency is 156, so we couldn't put the list of the entire constituencies here. So what we did is to pick out the best top 10, the best performers, the top 10 performers, and the bottom 10 performers on the list. So you're able to see that there are some constituencies which are actually able to utilize all the funds, and then we have some constituencies which are, lagging behind significantly. Of course, very concerning is Lusaka Central at 40.61% in terms of utilization. We have Kasaba Central at 22.84%. So that is the list of the bottom.
The Small-Scale Farmers Development Agency, SAFADA, has praised the government for its commitment to upholding and promoting agricultural development, stating that key government programs are benefiting small-scale farmers and contributing to economic growth. SAFADA Chief Executive Officer Boyd Mowe commended the improvements in the Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, and highlighted the positive impact of initiatives such as the Social Cash Transfer, Food for Work, and the Constituency Development Fund, CDF. He noted that despite the current challenges being faced in the sector, these programs are playing a crucial role in supporting farmers and rural communities. Mr. Mowe has since called on citizens to work together in strengthening the economy and stressed SAFADA's ongoing efforts to enhance partnerships between farmers and private investors for sustainable agricultural growth.
As SAFADA, we are actually very impressed with this current government, especially government commitment to improve the FISIP program, which has performed well this season in fact, and also looking at the social cash transfer, talk of food for work, and also the CDF. Yeah, these are tremendously done well. They are doing well despite a lot of challenges. There are a lot of challenges on the ground. If you go on the ground and try to find out, you may think the indicators that we are seeing are not worth recommending.
The National Council of Student Unions, NACOSU, has held government for maintaining funding allocations to key initiatives such as the Constituency Development Fund, CDF, and Cash for Work programs, despite the recent suspension of financial support from the United States government. Last month, U.S. President Donald Trump hooted funding to several African nations, including support for the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR. This decision sparked mixed reactions among the public and various stakeholders, with some calling on the government to redirect funds from programs like the CDF to sectors affected by the funding freeze. However, during a media briefing yesterday, Minister of Information and Media, Cornelius Mwetwa, reaffirmed the government's commitment to sustaining programs that enhance citizens' livelihoods, regardless of global political shifts. Speaking to Camnet News, NACOSU Secretary General Brian Chiza commended the government's stance, describing it as a demonstration of commitment to ensuring the well-being of citizens, particularly students.
Thank the government of the day, led by His Excellency President Hakainde Hichilema, for showing resilience in the midst of change in the global politics, as it may, the withdrawal of aid recently announced by the President of the United States of America. Well, the commitment made by government yesterday to not withdraw bursaries, to not withdraw meal allowances, to not withdraw even social cash, cash for work.
Cash flow is a program that when a student does something like he works, then they get paid, which it really helps us on our daily basis as students.
Through the local authorities, they've brought in cash for work, which has been very, very important in the lives of us students. Right now, we wake up at 05 to 06. We pick litter across the Independence Avenue or any other public places, and after 7 days we receive our 500 kwachas.
The Southern African Development Community, SADC, says it is working to enhance military healthcare services to provide advanced and responsive medical care for uniformed personnel across the region. Ministry of Defense Principal Public Relations Paul Shalala says SADC has convened a two-day meeting in Lusaka focused on developing comprehensive strategies to improve military health services, ensuring both operational readiness and the well-being of armed forces personnel. He says SADC Military Health Services Working Group Troika Chairperson, Brigadier General Dr. Jackson Kasela, emphasized that achieving a healthier and more resilient SADC region requires cooperation, innovation, and dedication among member states. He added that Brigadier General Dr. Kasela, also Director General of the Zambia Defense Force Medical Services, described the meeting as a critical platform for assessing progress, identifying challenges, and charting the way forward for the Troika objectives.
Also to thank our governments, the government of the Republic of Zambia, the government of the Republic of Tanzania, the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe for the support and commitment they keep showing us towards our working group. We want to thank them for the support, financial support, as well as the logistics that have enabled us to have this meeting today. Distinguished delegates, as we convene here today, our primary objective is to review the process made on the various tasks assigned during the previous AGM meeting that was held in April last year in Livingstone, Zambia. This meeting today serves as a critical platform to assess our achievements, identify challenges, and chart a way forward to ensure the aspirations of the working group are actualized. One of the critical issues that was standing out in the last AGM was the issue of the doctrine. Indeed, it is work in progress, and a lot has been done thus far. To this effect, I would like to express gratitude to the Doctrine Subcommittee, that is the Republic of South Africa, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe for the work that they've done. Further, I wish to express profound appreciation to all member states who took part in the in the review of the doctrine via the veto meeting that was held last year in November.
The opposition Revamp for Development Change (RDC) has challenged the government to explain the specific measures it has implemented to ensure that load shedding will end by June, as announced by Minister of Information and Media Cornelius Mwetwa. Speaking in an interview with Camnet News, RDC President Robert Chansa questioned the government's previous justification over the power crisis, which was attributed to the drought experienced in recent months. He argued that with the current rainfall patterns showing improvement, the government no longer has an excuse for the persistent power cuts, which continue to affect households and businesses despite the seemingly favorable weather conditions. Mr. Chansa further highlighted the severe disruptions caused by inadequate power supply, particularly for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, many of which rely on electricity to sustain their operations.
Load shedding has affected our economy. It has affected production of our economy. It has even affected small emerging businesses such as barbing, saloon, welding, which is learned by the majority who are the youths. We have been told that load shedding is going to end in June. The questions that we have for the current government: what measures have they put in place which can assure us, the Zambian people, that really load shedding is going to end? Because this load shedding has subjected the majority of the Zambian people to high poverty levels, in which these small businesses that we are talking about have collapsed. We want the answers from this government to assure the Zambian people and to tell us the measures that which they have put in place. They have been always talking about the waters, and we have been favored by God that we are given waters, but we have still continued witnessing in which other areas goes up to 5 days without having electricity. So we want the government to come openly and tell us, and they should tell the Zambian people the measures that which they have put in place, so that the Zambian people can get that assurance.
Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, has launched the ZIPA Local Authorities Date and Arrears Report, which outlines the financial challenges faced by Zambia's municipalities. Speaking at the launch in Lusaka, Minister Nkombo emphasized the importance of the report in strengthening decentralization and improving the financial sustainability of local governments. He noted that historical governance changes, policy shifts, and fiscal constraints have contributed to the growing debt burden impacting service delivery. To address these challenges, the government has introduced several measures, including the devolution of 13 functions to local authorities, accompanied by matching financial resources, as well as the direct transfer of sector funds from the Treasury to district accounts.
And this is a recognition and we appreciate that we as a ministry hold with the work that you have done around this very important subject. And therefore, I'm very honored to be part and parcel of this important report launched on the local authority debt arrears. This provides an analysis of the financial landscape of our local authorities, including local council, the evolution of municipal debt, and the regulatory framework that govern local government debt that realize is all timely and necessary as we continue in our efforts to strengthen the decentralization and enhance financial sustainability at the local government level. Distinguished friends, since gaining our independence, political independence, Zambia has been on the path toward decentralization and has been characterized by both growth as well as challenges.
A medical expert, Todi Mulenga, has urged the public to adhere to proper dental care practices, particularly when dealing with toothaches or other oral health issues. Mr. Mulenga cautioned against the use of battery acid as a home remedy for dental pain, emphasizing that it is extremely dangerous and can cause severe damage to the teeth, gums, and soft tissues of the mouth. He further explained that if battery acid is accidentally swallowed, it can lead to serious health complications, including chemical burns or ammonia poisoning, which can be life-threatening. Mr. Mulenga further encouraged individuals who may face difficulties accessing dental services at local clinics to seek treatment at district health hospitals where dental care services are available.
We have heard reports, I think it was something like in Western Province, where in some rural areas people are resorting to using battery acid to treat toothache and other things. Our opinion is that people must stick to established health practices. If they claim that there is no dental services nearby, certainly there is some dental service at a district hospital. So toothache is not an emergency as such. It can be referred to the right place instead of using dangerous things like battery acid. It can corrode your mouth, and if it goes down, it can create pneumonia, chemical pneumonia we call it. So it's really very dangerous.
The Young Women's Christian Association, YWCA, says there is need for fair distribution of empowerment services, particularly through the Community Development Fund, CDF, to ensure that women, girls and youths benefit equitably. YWCA President Patricia Mubanga, in an interview with Camnet News, highlighted the importance of monitoring and evaluating how CDF initiatives have impacted women and marginalized groups, stressing that the fund plays a critical role in bridging economic gaps and creating equal opportunities. Mrs. Mubanga was speaking ahead of the International Women's Day, which will be celebrated under the theme Women and Girls' Rights, Equality and Empowerment. She noted that the theme reflects the ongoing challenges in achieving equal justice and urged stakeholders to actively promote policies and programs that advance gender equality and empower women and girls.
This year's theme for International Women's Day is Women and Girls Rights, Equality and Empowerment. For us, this is the power-packed theme, and it calls for a lot. And when we say that it calls for a lot, we are saying that it is calling for comprehensive legal provisions, education and awareness. It's also calling for support systems for survivors. And it's also calling for a lot of community engagement and awareness raising. And above all, it's also calling for collective responsibility, which requires us to ensure that we have more attention and more of taking action than just reporting statistics and so on. Then the question is, what does it mean for the woman? What it means for the woman out there and for the girl out there is that there's a lot that is going on in our environment, especially in terms of the lack of equal justice as regards rights of the girl and also the woman. There are issues around equity and equality. And so this is where we're saying as YWCA that there's need, more importantly, to ensure that there's more equity and equality, or more equitable and equal distribution of services, more equal distribution in terms of empowerment, even through community development funds. We have seen quite a lot happening, and we have seen the statistics that have been shared, the report that has been shared by Transparency Zambia, and we are saying that we can see the gaps that are existing. And as a women's movement, it is.
The Zambia Open Community Schools, ZOCS, has donated variety of essential items at two Community School and Mother Teresa Missionaries in Lusaka today. The donation included supplementary books, T-shirts, footballs, crayons, pencils, and pens as part of ZOC's ongoing outreach program to support vulnerable communities. Letitia Mbewe, head of finance and accounts at ZOCS, explained to Camnet TV News that the donation is part of the organization's long-standing tradition of giving back to the community, a commitment that has been sustained for over 30 years. The donation was gratefully received by the school administration. Jordan Chikola, head teacher of Mutendere Community School, expressed his appreciation, stating that the donation would greatly help in meeting the needs of the learners.
In a heartwarming display of corporate social responsibility, the Zambia Open Community Schools, ZOCS, donated a range of essential items to Mtendere Community School, located at Mother Teresa Missionaries in Lusaka. The donation included supplementary books, t-shirts, footballs, crayons, pencils, and pens, all part of ZOC's ongoing outreach program aimed at supporting vulnerable communities. Speaking at the event, Letitia Mbewe, ZOC's head of finance and accounts, says the donation is a continuation of the organization's commitment to giving back to the community, a tradition that spans over 30 years.
We are a flagship and vibrant organization, and we work with community schools across the entire country. And in the past 33 years, we've worked across Zambia, and we've worked around our three pillars, being service delivery, advocacy, as well as capacity building. So what we have done around those pillars is advocacy and influencing, as has been stated there. We've worked with the government of the Republic of Zambia to influence government policy as well as legislation around community schools. We continue to value these relationships with the cooperating partners, and we want to say thank you. We have a lot of children with a need, and we call upon all our cooperating partners and other donors out there to continue with the support.
The donation was warmly received by Mtendere Community School head teacher Jordan Chikula, who expressed gratitude to ZOCS for their kind gesture. Mr. Chikula says the donation will go a long way in meeting the needs of learners.
On behalf of the school staff, allow me to say thank you for this wonderful gesture from ZOCS, Zambia Open Community Schools, and other stakeholders that came on board in this donation. I believe this donation will go a long way in helping the school to ensure that our kids continue with their education. As you noticed, these kids are vulnerable children from different walks of life. Allow me to say thank you once more to ZOCS.
Meanwhile, Father Frank Tariwana, University of Zambia UNZA chaplain, praised ZOCS for their generosity and commitment to giving back to the community.
Special thanks to ZOCS and the partners who came in to support the school, and especially to ZOCS for also responding to the call that came through from the UNZA Christian community, the UNZA chaplaincy. Our purpose as UNZA chaplaincy is to cultivate the Christian morality, Christian morals in our students at UNZA, and when we have people coming to support the initiatives of students, for instance, in this case, the initiative to work with the underprivileged communities, it's a great gesture that we cannot take for granted.
The donation by ZOCS is a testament to the organization's dedication to supporting vulnerable communities and promoting education as a key driver of socio-economic development. Barbara Mlenga for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Mongu Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager Abigail Sengi has commended the contractor responsible for the construction of a maternity annex at Ilute Health Post, which is now 99% complete at a cost of over 600,000 kwacha. Ms. Sitenge emphasized that the completion of the maternity annex will greatly alleviate long distances previously faced by residents when seeking delivery services. She also urged members of the community to utilize health facilities for childbirth, highlighting that doing so will prevent maternal deaths. Meanwhile, local residents, including Mukelebai Nawa, An expectant mother expressed their gratitude for the project. They stated that the maternity annex will significantly contribute to reducing maternal death rates in the area.
Access to health services has remained a critical challenge, especially to pregnant mothers, as most health services lack maternity annex. In order to reduce the distance some residents of Irute and surrounding areas cover to access health services, Mongo Municipal Council has completed the construction of a maternity annex at Irute Health Post using 2023 Constituency Development Fund at a total cost of more than 600,000 kwacha. Abigail Stenge is Mongo Municipal Council Assistant Public Relations Manager.
This is one of the projects funded under the 2023 CDF allocation. It's one of the maternity annexes that the council has been constructing using the CDF. The funding is over 600,000 kwacha for this maternity annex. It should have been operating by now, except the delayment has been with the incinerator behind there and can't start operating in the maternity annex in the absence of the incinerator. And so the maternity annex itself is about 99% complete, which of course has only a few things remaining in terms of final touches for it to start operating. So after that, we'll be set for commissioning and operations.
Lydia Mungara, who is Irute Health Post in charge, says the health post covers 808 expected pregnancies annually.
So we are covering about 15,676. That's our population according to census. Our expected pregnancy per annum is 808. And then our women of childbearing age is about 3,000 plus. They have a challenge of transport. It will lead to them delivering at home, and that causes a harm to both the mother and the baby. So having this annex, I think it will help us also reduce on the challenges and the challenges of maternal death. Yes.
Meanwhile, one of the committee members, Mukiraba Inawa, appreciated the gesture, stating that the completion of the maternity annex in the area will reduce the long distance they used to cover.
Kwa district kapa ya kwaliwanika konofa kelufuma na sishemo kapa muhawa kuli mwima kona kupuluela kwandu kabumai mushemi kapa mwana wakona kusinyeha kapa kafera bona mane bayelera mukwa kupuluhera kwa mandu cholefa museba lutiseze maternity fakaufi lwaitumela kwa muso miuzwele pili kwa kulutusa kwa kuluvupula kulimane sipatela sesi sikesa ferera ferafa kono mane sikone kuhula kuba sipatela sesi tuna.
Museo Kabira, Camnet News in Mongo District, Western Province.
You're watching the main news on Camnet TV. We now take a break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms, Camnet TV, not just another channel. Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, midday news, and remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In Forgotten Stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Thank you so much for staying with us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. Here's a roundup of international stories we monitored on DW News.
To the US now, where President Donald Trump has given a speech to a joint session of Congress in Washington, D.C. In a nearly 2-hour address, Trump claimed his trade policies and tariffs would boost the domestic, agriculture and car industry. He vowed to reduce bureaucracy, thanking Elon Musk for cracking down on federal spending. On foreign policy, Trump said Ukraine was willing to enter peace talks. He also repeated his plan for the US to take control of Greenland and the Panama Canal. Now, to give you a sense of the tone of the evening, here's how Trump opened his speech with a big claim about his achievements so far.
6 weeks ago, I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country. We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
Agreeing on a new plan for Gaza, one that includes Gazans.
I invite you now to adopt the Reconstruction and Development Plan of Gaza, as well as the draft of the closing statement.
The Cairo plan counters Trump's Middle East Riviera proposal, which called for Gazans to leave the territory and was condemned by the UN as tantamount to ethnic cleansing. UN Chief Antonio Guterres attended the summit and endorsed the reconstruction plan for Gaza, which ensures its population remains.
I welcome and strongly endorse the Arab-led initiative to mobilize support for Gaza's reconstruction, clearly expressed in this summit. And the UN stands ready to fully cooperate in this endeavor. We recognize that reconstruction requires governance and security arrangements that can help guarantee a brighter, more stable future for Palestinians and Israelis alike.
Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas welcomed the Egyptian plan and urged Trump to support one that doesn't displace Palestinians. Other Arab leaders present at the summit also strongly opposed Trump's plan.
The 2025 ABSA Cup has been granted a 1 million financial boost, increasing from 800,000 kwacha in 2024. At the official launch and draw held at ABSA House on Wednesday morning, ABSA Bank Zambia PLC Director Mizinga Melu announced that a total tournament sponsorship has risen to 6.5 million kwacha, up from 5.5 million kwacha in 2024. Ms. Melu highlighted that the increase in prize money reflects the company's commitment to uplifting Zambian football and ensuring that local clubs have the resources they need to grow and succeed. The tournament will begin with a preliminary round on March 15th and 16th, followed by the round of 16 on April 5th to 6th, before progressing to the quarter-final.
Which is very exciting on our part as government. ABSA Cup is more than just a competition. It is a celebration of football excellence. It's a platform for young players to be discovered, talent identification, and it's an avenue for clubs to compete at the highest level. Yes, the excitement is part of it, the passion and the sheer determination for players to showcase their talent.
We have introduced an expanded format to include 10 provincial champions for national Division 1 teams and 7 Premier League teams, making a total of 21 teams. And this bold move demonstrates our belief that talent exists everywhere. Last year, we were at 850. This year, the prize money is 1 million kwacha. You know? This increase in money is a testament to our commitment to uplifting Zambian football and ensure that the clubs have the resources to grow. So furthermore, we are excited to introduce additional incentives and recognize individual brilliance.
Our byline is professionalize to commercialize the league. And ABSA partnership has not only motivated teams, but it has also attracted other companies to join us on this exciting journey. ABSA, you have truly set the benchmark, becoming the sponsor that every other brand aspires to beat. For our teams, the ABSA Cup has become a cornerstone for success. It is no longer just a tournament. It's an opportunity to showcase talent and prestigious platform that many see as key to their seasonal achievements. The continuous investment ABSA has made, especially through the increase in prize money as we had.
That's it for our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Intern doctor nabbed for allegedly raping patients. Underutilization of CDF warrant to seize further FUNDING-TIZ. Construction of KAMWALA-CHONGWE Road, OVERDUE-SIMATTA laments. In international news, could higher prices for consumers in the U.S. trigger opposition to Trump's tariffs? And in sports news, ABSA Cup 2025 receives increased sponsorship to boost Zambian football. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of James 4, verse 17. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good, and doeth it not, to him it is sin. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night and God bless you all.